What about any diet tips you can give to somebody?
Message all these companies. They're not all going to respond, but you might get a couple that respond.
Nobody wants to pay, you know what I mean?
Acting, I think, is a good profession to get into because that's something you can do even when you're like an old man.
What's your kind of like workout regimen like?
Like, why would I go do men's physique if I'm doing double biceps?
Speaking of physiques, when you competed at the IBB Pro, right? That was the beginning of the men's physique division. That was just when it started, basically. Yep. Looking at how it developed over the years, looking at the physiques now in that division, what do you think about it?
Well, I think they need to have a weight cap. It's like, why is there a weight cap? I'm not even sure if there is or not, but I know like Classic, there's a weight cap.
Classic has a weight cap, yeah.
Is there now? Yeah. So I mean, the physiques back in 2013, I mean, it's just how the sport's going to go. You know, people are going to get bigger, but there should always be the men's physique essence. And you can't have bodybuilders in board shorts, you know, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose of men's physique. I kind of like the direction that it's going, how they're getting a little bit more posing involved in the routines and all that. Because the thing that I was a little surprised by when I did the INBA was, man, they had us doing like double biceps up there and side triceps.
Yeah, I noticed it's different. Yeah.
I'm like, what? I wasn't, because I never really practiced, you know, those
right. Mm-hmm.
poses because I always did IFBB men's physique. So that was a little bit different. I wasn't expecting that. So the first show I went up there, luckily I won the show, and then I'm like, I got to practice my posing because I wasn't happy with the posing at that first show. So really practice hard on that. And it's like, I think it's good to have the posing, especially on like the IFBB Mr. Olympia, now seeing that they're actually doing the posing now, because it's kind of tough to judge the physiques when they're all doing the same move. You know, it's just like a twist. So I think but they should have like maybe different type of posing. I don't know if I really care for too much for the posing in this INBA. That's partly why I'm like, why would I go do men's physique if I'm doing double biceps? And I'll just put some classic physique posing trunks on, and then what's the point of doing that? I got legs to show them off. So but the direction that men's physique's going, especially being there from one of the first guys, you know, seeing the evolution of it, I'm okay with it, especially after Ryan Terry winning. I think Ryan has a good look for men's physique. They're really focusing on abs and all that. So it's going in a good direction. Mm-hmm. See how it goes next year. But bodybuilding is always going to evolve. It's always going to be changing.
Yeah, for sure. When you think of bodybuilding, right, in your opinion, is bodybuilding kind of like is it health and fitness, or is it an extreme sport? What is it for you?
It's definitely not health and fitness, in my opinion. I don't think it's health and fitness, especially when you've been around these guys and you see what's going on back like behind the scenes, and you know how much food you're eating and all that. Is health is out the window at that point, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely more of an extreme sport, but. Yeah, I've always tried to be healthy about it with my lifting, especially, you know, promoting the natural bodybuilding. But even natural bodybuilding, I mean, when you want to be the best, you got to get down to some pretty low body fat levels. Even when you're bulking, I mean, you got to eat a lot of food. So how healthy can it really be?
Yeah, exactly. So it is more of an extreme thing for sure. I agree with you.
It's still extreme, yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they're actually talking about trying to get it into the Olympics. I was talking to the president of the INBA. He's like, yeah, we've been trying to get it in there. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Let's talk about your prep. In general, tell me do you have an off season, on season? Like, do you? I know you did the dirty bulk, right? But like, generally speaking, what is your training and diet like usually during prep?
Yeah, so after I won the show in May, I did a bulk, but I usually, I mean, that bulk was only like 3 or 4 months. I think like a real good bulk should at least be like 6 to 9 months. Even a year if you want to put some real size on. So I didn't really have enough time, you know, after the show, because I got to get ready for the Natural Olympia. So got to have the bulks to add size on. I didn't really put on too much body fat, luckily, this time. So I did a 10-week cut, and that seemed to be pretty good for me. Training-wise, as I got closer to the show, you know, this is something new to me, but I started incorporating more rest days. Because I noticed if I'm training too often, like, my body starts holding a lot of water. feeling run down, you got to have the rest days in there. So that was one of the newer things I actually incorporated, because usually I'm like, man, I just want to go balls to the wall every single day intensity. I think maybe because I even noticed like when it like 2016, I was able to get away with that. I was younger, but now like I don't know, man. I didn't think 30 would be that old, but when I started doing it, and I'm like, I'm trying to do the same training I did back then, it just doesn't really work. You got to have the rest days, man. Even yeah, because I notice if I'm overtraining, especially because I'm cutting on like 1,800 calories and stuff, and it's like my body starts holding water. I'll start burning muscle, especially like if I'm losing like a pound a day. Like, all right, time to like hold back a little bit, a couple rest days.
Right.
That's way too much weight to be losing, especially. It always happens to me at the very end of the prep. I start losing weight quick, so I'm like, I got to kind of tone down the training. And yeah, the rest days was one of the most newest things for me, which is kind of weird. But I mean, like, because I think it's just when you're younger, you can kind of get away with it. To get older, you got to have the rest days. You need to have the rest days for sure.
Do you do a lot of cardio?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of cardio, man. I was doing cardio every single day, every morning. I've been doing like 40 minutes fasted cardio. I've been incorporating some high intensity interval training too. So sometimes twice a day. I've always been a pretty big believer in cardio. You got to do the cardio when you get shredded, man. You wanna get down to like 5% body fat. You got to be doing cardio. Diet is only going to take you so much.
What do you do, like running or walking, or what's kind of cardio?
I'm doing steady rate cardio, so I'm walking on a treadmill, like 6 incline, 3.2 miles per hour, 40 minutes. I've always liked fast cardio. But I do HIIT also, high intensity interval training. I'll do that on the bike machine. So I'll do like 10 to 15 minutes, get the heart rate up. But I used to do that more. This time I didn't really do it as much. I only did maybe like, I don't know, like 6 sessions a whole prep for the high intensity. But then I'm doing the steady rate cardio on the treadmill every single morning. It's like, well, not every morning. It would be maybe like 5 times a week. But I'm doing a lot of cardio. You got to do the cardio.
Right. What about any diet tips you can give to somebody? What is your diet like during prep?
So I've always liked doing carb cycling. I have a high carb day, moderate carb day, low carb day, and that way you kind of structure your training based off of that. So it's like if I'm doing a low carb day, that might be the rest day. The high carb day, I'm not going to do a rest day, a high carb day. That'll be like maybe like on a leg day or something like that. But yeah, I think that usually helps me get pretty lean. But even doing like higher carb diets, like 60% carbs, 20% protein, 20% fat, is just like that. You got to have the carbs off also for the energy. But I've always liked carb cycling. It's always worked for me.
Yeah, for sure. Do you lift heavy typically to failure, or do you do what's your kind of like workout regimen like?
Yeah, I've always gone like to failure. So I never really have like, I've always kind of trained by myself. It's nice to have training partners for the motivation.
Now with your dad?
Well, I live in California. He lives in Washington.
Oh, I still live in Washington. Got it.
We don't train too often together, but
Gotcha.
it's like I've always kind of trained solo. I mean, I've had so many training partners throughout my career, but sometimes when I get close to prep, I mean, I'm doing like 60 close to the show, 60 to 90-second rest periods. If I got a training partner, sometimes it takes too long to wait for them to do it. So I like to kind of train by myself. And it's like when I get close to the show, I'm almost treating the training, when I'm training so fast with 60-second rest, it's almost like cardio. I'm burning fat during that training session. Now that I'm done with the show, I got more like, I even have to pull out my phone to like time myself with training. I got to do at least 3-minute rest, because it's like training's different now. Now I'm in kind of bulk phase, trying to add size. So it's a little bit different now. You got to have longer rest periods when trying to build muscle. You can't be doing 60-second rest and thinking you're going to get bigger. It's just different kind of training.
What a recommendation would you give to upcoming bodybuilders that want to be influencers and they want to specifically land a supplement company deal or some kind of endorsement deal like the ones you've had over the years, what's the right way of doing it in today's climate where it's so oversaturated and nobody wants to pay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think one big piece of advice for these kids is like, look, don't wait for opportunity to come knocking on your door. You got to go out there and be knocking on their door. What I mean by that is like, don't expect these big companies to be emailing you, reaching out to you and saying, hey, we want to sponsor you. It's just probably not going to happen, especially nowadays since it's so saturated. So you guys need to go out there, email these companies. I mean, even when I booked my talent agent, dude, I emailed like 100 different agents in LA. And what I did is I went on IMDb website. I found all their information, their emails and all that. And then I would just send the same email to all these agents. Took a couple days to email all of them. And then look, they all didn't respond, but I got like 20 responded. Out of that, I maybe got like 5 interviews. And then from there, I booked my agent. So it's like, you guys got to have the same strategy. Message all these companies. They're not all going to respond, but you might get a couple that respond. So just give it a try, just reach out to them, and don't be discouraged if you don't get any on the first bat, because you got a lot of competition. So you just got to keep trying at it, man. You eventually book someone, and then if you got good numbers and you stand out from the pack and you're making good content, you'll pick up a good sponsor.
Speaking of going to auditions, have you ever gotten the feedback like they like you for the role, but like you're too muscular? Because like in their eyes, you know what I mean? Like in their, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I've been too big for a couple roles. I don't really want to downsize, but it's like, I think if you put a good shirt on me, I don't look as big. But when you put a tank top on or something, yeah, it's usually, I don't really encounter that problem too often, but I mean, it has happened before. Nothing wrong with it, dude. I mean, it's a good, I guess it's kind of like a compliment.
Yeah, for sure. So what's next for you? You planning to still compete at the INBA, right? The organization.
Yeah. So I still want to do that. I talked to a couple of promoters with the show. They have like this Asia circuit coming up. So they want me to do a Singapore show, Malaysia, Philippines, and I think a Tokyo Pro. And then they also wanted to get me down in South America to promote some competition that they have going on. But that doesn't start till I think April, the circuit for next year. So it's kind of a long layoff for competing. So I actually just had a meeting with this one guy. He wants to be like a manager for acting. So might sign with him. I really want to pursue the acting. I mean, I want to do the bodybuilding and all that still, but I'm not getting any younger. So I want to kind of try the acting try. So I think that's kind of next for me. I'm talking to, I don't want to announce anything yet, but a new sponsor, clothing company. So probably going to be signing up with them for Black Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we want to get that signed up, probably wrapped up by Friday. Pretty big company.
Is it Young LA?
I'm not announcing nothing yet.
Just guessing, man.
Yeah, it's a pretty good guess. But they live there, man. Like Young LA is so close to my house. They're like, they have like their whole. I've been to their gym a couple times. It's like 20 minutes away.
They're killing it.
They got a good thing going on. They got a lot of big names up there. So
100%.
Yeah, we'll see. Pretty good guess though.
I hear you. So earlier this year, IBB Pro made an announcement that they gonna start doing natural shows, meaning that tested shows.
Who is?
IBB Pro. Have you heard that or not?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that, and it's like, I mean, hey, it's cool and everything, but then it makes me think. So, what's that mean for the other shows?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. That's actually what made me question that as well, because I don't understand how it's going to work exactly.
Yeah, so it's like you got tested shows and you got non-tested. It's like, I mean, that. All right, guys, go for it. But I don't know if that's a very good look.
Because automatically you think, okay, those are the steroid guys and these are the not steroid guys. Automatically you think that, right?
That's kind of what I was thinking when I heard about that. Like they're going to be introducing more natural shows. So it almost kind of made me think is like, are they seeing natural bodybuilding is like a threat a little bit? That they want to introduce this? I mean, come on, all these companies want to make money, but it kind of made me a little curious. I'm like, yeah, why are they introducing all these natural shows? So it was like, it's interesting, but when they want to do it, go for it. That's all right.
I wonder.
They got their one show, the Ben Weider Natural.
Yes.
I think that's like their biggest natural show. So
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If they want to do it, go for it, you know. But I'll probably stick with IBA for now.
I was going to ask you.
You
That's
got a big family.
my next question was when you heard that, were you intrigued by going, back into IBB Pro and stuff like that?
Well, it's funny because it's like the Ben Weider show. It's a natural tested show, and it says if you win that show, then you qualify for the Olympia.
Right.
But then it's like, so you just did a tested show, but then you're gonna go do what? It's kind of like
It's confusing. I get it.
the dilemma.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you're fucking natural, you want to go compete against these guys, and obviously they're on steroids. It's like
It's confusing. I hear you.
it's a little confusing, a little bit, but no, it's all good, man. I mean, if they want to promote natural bodybuilding, I'm totally for it.
I hear you, man. So, in addition to the competition, and obviously you want to pursue the acting, right? What else do you want to achieve in this industry, right? Because you achieved a lot already. Like you're only 30 years old. You achieved a lot. You've been through so many different companies, representation. You know what I mean? Like you've worked with different people, covered magazines, right? You made a huge name for yourself. What do you think is left? I mean, what else do you want to accomplish?
I know. It's like, look, I mean, after winning this show, it's like, do I want to be like the 5-time Natural Olympia champion? You know, I'm like, I kind of was thinking about that too. I mean, acting, I think is a good profession to get into because that's something you can do even when you're like an old man. You could be 70 years old. There's still roles to get into for that. I want to keep doing the social media, keep inspiring these kids and motivating them and all that. But I think doing the natural bodybuilding is kind of like a different direction. It's something that kind of I can believe in and really promote and be proud of it. So I want to keep doing the social media. I mean, it's like it's even social media is always changing, dude. So I'm trying to adapt with it and keep up with it,
I hear you, man.
I mean, I don't know what's next for me. I guess we're gonna have to see.
I hear you. Well, listen, I can't wait to see what happens with your career in the NBA. And I really think you becoming a part of this organization gives it a huge, like I told you in the beginning, gives it a huge boost, man. So I can't wait to see what happens, man. And for me, I love both bodybuildings, all bodybuilding in general, but I definitely want to see natural bodybuilding thrive even more, So I can't wait to see what happens, man.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's nice to meet you, Vlad. Finally, after so many years, dude.
I know. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll meet in person soon.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, take care.